cell density analysis complete. Subject's neural pathways have been drained of electrical energy.
I know where all the electrical energy is going. Shh.
Subject contains high ionic residue and trace amounts of neural tranquilizers.
Ooh.
Originating creature may consume energy.
So we have a creature that sucks energy. Is it the flying thing that we saw eat that bird?
It's a communications port.
Well, bloody talk to it.
There's no need for that.
But you want to call someone! Oh my god! Okay, I figured out how to call people! I'm so clever.
Open a channel to Tractor Melas. I'm Dr. Beverly Crusher of the Starship Enterprise. I'm investigating Dr. Hunforsh's disappearance.
This is the best room to have telephone conversations in.
Greetings. I doubt that she is in any danger. She's probably just taking a vacation after her blow-up with Constable Lixie.
I found your name in Dr. Hunforsh's lab. How do you know her?
I teach her territorial recognition. At least I did. We suspended our lessons after the power outages began. I haven't seen her since, but I doubt she's lost. Such an excellent tracker, even if she is a bit weak in the nose.
Tell me about the fight.
So the constable and Dr. Hunforsh had an argument.
Dr. Hunforsh discovered that several animals from Aramut's second shipment were illegal species which had been mistagged. I think she accused the constable of smuggling, but I'm not sure. Healer Zolas told me the story.
Well, that definitely sounds reasonable.
If the accusations of smuggling were confirmed, it would seriously jeopardize Marassia's chances for membership in the Federation.
One person on your planet smuggled, and therefore we will cut you from the Federation.
That's why she thought Constable Lixie might be involved, to thwart Federation entry.
You mentioned some power outages. Could you tell me anything more about them?
A power surge at our quarantine shelter destroyed some of the generators. 2 watchers were seriously injured and several animals escaped. Since then, we've had outages in the biotopes. They're still under investigation.
The constable didn't say anything about that. I suppose that with the generator out, the individual containment fields in the shelter wouldn't work either. You wouldn't be able to hold anything there.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Most of our personnel are out searching for escaped animals right now. Dr. Hunforsh might be doing that on her own.
Without telling anyone?
I'd like to ask you about some animal carcasses we found in the doctor's lab.
Of course.
Banned in Federation space.
This creature is tagged as a Frednorian boar. But tests show it's an Akana boar, which is banned in Federation space. How did it get to Marassia?
That's one of the new arrivals from the second shipment. Maybe there was an error. You know, we've had a number of minor problems with creatures from that shipment.
A boar seems to have died of starvation. How could something that preventable happen here?
Hard to say. The Watchers are quite good. I can't imagine they'd just let this happen. Maybe they were given the wrong care instructions. Or maybe the animal was not identified correctly.
Seems likely.
We found a Kujan gibbon which died from an avoidable parasitic infection. How could that happen here?
You guys suck at your jobs.
I don't know. The Watchers are the ones who care for the animals. Maybe they can help you.
We did a bioscan on a mole-like creature. There was a significant energy drain from its neural pathways.
It's probably a Myocordae mole. They're quite common on Marassia. But I've never heard of one dying like this before.
I once encountered a species that consumed human neural energy. This animal looks like it died in a similar way. Maybe one of the animals in the preserve feeds on Myocordae energy.
None that I know of. Perhaps the Myocordae got caught in one of the generator power surges, but then it wouldn't be drained of energy. I don't know.
What exactly do the Watchers do?
The Watchers feed and care for the preserved species.
You've been very helpful. Thank you for your time.
I wish you well on your search.
Thanks.
It's possible the constable felt that telling us about her argument with the doctor would arouse our suspicions. But why would she withhold information about the escapes?
Because she's terrible. Alright, Consultant Idia is the last person to see her.
Open a channel to Consultant Idia.
Channels to Consultant Idia
good.
are closed at this time.
Open a channel to Healer Zolis.
Channels to Healer Zola.
We should have to stay here longer.
Open a channel to Tiller Mavet.
Channels to
Closed indefinitely.
Open a channel to Grower Inongo.
Channels to Grower Inongo are closed.
Maybe they've gone with her, because she has 4 field suits with her. Alright, let's go accuse the constable of stirring shit. Send in the fields lady. Fields lady, ask. Can you tell me why? Smuggle, smuggle, smuggle.
Could you tell me why Dr. Hyun-Forsch believed that animals were being smuggled into the preserve?
She found a Romulan creature, which is, of course, banned from import by Federation law. It was tagged as a similar legal species. She has accused me of smuggling it in order to damage our chances for Federation membership.
Could you tell me why you didn't bring this up before?
How do you account for the mistagged animal?
I blame our supplier, Eramet. He's rude, devious, and barely competent. If I'd known Eramet was a Ferengi, I'd never have listened to Idia's recommendation. But the contract is binding, and he does deliver on time.
Well, as long as he's on time with his completely different species.
Constable, I understand the preserve has been experiencing some unusual power outages.
Those were just a few temperamental generators failing. They've been repaired. Is the Federation now concerned with our internal technical difficulties as well?
No, we're concerned with the species you have on the loose that are eating our scientists.
Why are you so opposed to the Federation?
Membership in the Federation would compromise Marastia's freedom of action. Some of us would rather not see that happen.
Thank you for your time.
You mean you'd not be able to study these hooky species?
I believe the constable. She seems genuinely devoted to the preserve, and I don't think she would resort to smuggling, even to thwart Federation membership.
I mean, it's not really hooky if you're not part of the Federation, is it? They're just some planet that's not at war with Romulans, so let them study their species. It's quite reasonable. This whole section's just not very nicely designed, is it? The last one was self-contained. It was cool. This one, for some reason, you come out of the constable's office and you go to the room with the least number of rooms you can go off to. Well, then you gotta come back here. Oof. Why is it not just one little hub? So it's all broken. Something escaped.
These are the gate controls. If you cut the power, the access ways automatically open to keep workers from being trapped inside.
So what you're saying is, the smuggler brought some hooky animals in, cut the power so he could steal his animals, a bunch of other shit kicked off, and now we have all the other animals running loose as well, causing shit. I win. I solved the problem. Well, I didn't solve it so much as just crack the case. You may call me Weef's Holmes. See how I don't actually solve anything? I just tell people what happened and then leave, without even verifying it.
These controls have been set to produce a brief, high-energy pulse from the harmonic collector. From here, you can adjust the size and resiliency of the containment field. The field's been set to enclose the harmonic collector.
This is definitely a jailbreak. So someone changed the field so it only encloses the collector, which means it doesn't zap the animals when they try and escape. Which I presume is what the harmonic collector is for, going brrrr. Detective Weefs at you, that's me. And therefore everything broke free.
The harmonic collector operates on the same principle as the Bussard ram scoop collector. Its purpose, however, is to reconfigure sound waves. I am receiving readings of unusually high ionic residue.
High ionic residue, what does that mean?
This cage was broken open from the inside, most likely by the last creature it held.
Alright, we're gonna walk up and get zapped?
I am interested in Dr. Idia's part in this. Perhaps his comm channel is now open.
They want me to go back to the lab. Touch the collector.
I do not believe that will...
It's time to go back to our favorite place in all the world. wonder if people are hostile if you have the man talk to them. Or whether that whole matriarchal society thing was just like, well, we'll make 2 comments and then be done with it.
Open a channel to Consultant Idia.
Channels open.
I'm Counselor Deanna Troy of the Enterprise. I'm investigating the disappearance of Dr. Hun Forsch.
As I told Constable Lixie, I don't know where she is. Must you interrupt my research with more pointless questions?
Stop being a dick.
I'm sorry for the intrusion. I understand that you're the Preserve's consultant.
Yes, I help select and verify preserved species in the biotopes. The Morassians wanted a Federation expert, despite Lixie's objections. They were lucky to get me.
You were the last person to see Dr. Hun Forsch before she disappeared.
As far as I know, that's not a crime.
Oh, he did it.
Constable Lixie said you recommended switching to a Ferengi trader named Aramut for the second shipment.
Yes, I did. Because he delivers what you want on time. The constable gave me hell when she found out that he was a Ferengi. She barely tolerates me because I'm a male.
And he didn't deliver what you wanted. Unless he did, and it's all you being sneaky.
I have some questions about several carcasses we found in the doctor's lab.
Animal carcasses in an exobiology lab? Well, that's certainly unusual.
You sarcastic wank. That's the kind of thing I would say, though.
A boar seems to have died of starvation. How could something that preventable happen here?
Sounds like incompetence to me. The Watchers blindly follow whatever care instructions they're given. No personal initiative at all.
Is there something about the boar that's bothering you? You seem rather concerned about it.
Of course I am. It died of neglect. How did you know I was concerned? Are you telepathic?
I'm an empath, actually.
No, I'm an empath. I'm half betazoid.
Really? I wanted more proof before I said anything. But that boar is an Akana, a species banned for import. It must have been smuggled in. The Watchers have requested restricted species before and were denied. Dr. Hun Forsch may have found out.
The Watchers are doing it. Everyone's doing it.
If you knew that boar was an Arcana, why didn't you report it to the authorities?
I didn't want to. I wanted the chance to study it. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Who am I to deprive science of my brilliant research on such a specimen?
My brilliant research.
Did the doctor confront any of the Watchers with her suspicions?
I think that's why she's missing. When she confronted them with the Akana, they must have stunned her. Those stunners don't trigger the surveillance system, so nobody knows about it.
Why didn't you say anything?
Why would the doctor think the Watchers were smuggling?
You mean besides the fact that she's found these mislabeled creatures?
They're fanatics out to save the endangered creatures of the universe. I've suspected them all along, especially when I discovered this mistagging. You see, these tags can only be reprogrammed by a Watcher.
We found a Kujon gibbon which died from an avoidable parasitic infection. How could that happen here?
I'd say it died of neglect. Those Watchers don't know the first thing about dealing with animals. They're not scientists. They're glorified zookeepers. Why don't you go ask them about it?
We found a Myochordae mole whose neural pathways were drained of energy. How might that have happened?
Hey, Spaceship Rat, how you doing?
I'd say it died of neglect. Those Watchers don't know the first thing about dealing with animals. They're not scientists. They're glorified zookeepers.
Did the doctor seem preoccupied or concerned about anything in particular?
When I saw her for supper the other day, she was talking about genetic samples from the last shipment. She knows I don't like to hear people talk while I eat, so she said little else.
But Dr. Hun Forsch was only cataloguing Morassian species. Why would she be interested in genetic samples from other animals in the preserve?
I don't concern myself with the lab work of junior scientists. Now, do you mind? I have important research to conduct.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for wasting it.
Well, fuck you too, dude.
Idia's accusation that the Watchers are fanatics is certainly plausible. Collectors can be quite zealous in their pursuit of rare specimens.
Idia certainly has a high opinion of himself. The thing he seemed most interested in was his reputation. Open a channels. I'm Counselor Deanna Troy of the Enterprise. I'm investigating the disappearance of Dr. Hun Forsch.
A Starfleet officer. I was expecting this.
I believe you know something about an argument between Dr. Hunforsh and the constable.
Yes, the doctor mentioned it when she asked about Aramet. He's a Ferengi who provides us with alien species for the preserve.
What did she want to know about Aramet? Did it have anything to do with the mistagged animals from his shipment?
Yes, she had spoken to Zudan, one of the 3 watchers in charge of the last shipment. He told her to talk to Aramet.
Zudan the zookeeper.
I think the doctor believed the Watchers were smuggling restricted species into the preserve through Aramet.
Aramet has a rather unsavory reputation. The Watchers wouldn't have anything to do with someone like that. But you can ask Zudan yourself.
Did Idia know about Aramet's reputation when he recommended him as a traitor?
Considering how long Idia and Aramet have known each other, I would think so. Those two go back quite a while. I think Idia even came here on Aramet's ship.
Do you know if she spoke to any of the other Watchers?
I doubt it. The other Watchers were at the quarantine shelter and suffered some kind of neural energy drain when the generators exploded. They've been comatose ever since. Zudan's the only Watcher on duty now.
And the constable didn't think to mention that either?
We found some preserve animals which suffered neural energy drains also. Perhaps the incidents are related. Would it be possible to examine their colleagues' neuroscans?
I'll send you the Watcher's neuroscans. You can view them on the bio table, but I recommend you speak to Watcher Zudan. You can find him at the quarantine shelter.
So I can view them in the Zappy room. I thought I was escaping.
Thank you for your time.
I hope you find her soon.
Idia was the last to see Dr. Hunforsh before she disappeared. Idia is friends with a Ferengi, and Ferengi traders are not known for their honor. Perhaps Idia is guilty.
The Watchers suffered an electrical energy drain from their neural pathways, like the Mycordae mole. No unusual reading. I can't use this.
It's not working. The Watchers suffered an electrical energy drain from their neural pathways, as did the Mycordae mole.
Thanks. Thanks for that
I
science.
used the medical tricorder to scan. It's not working.
They made it louder. Why did they make it louder? Data, you're technically the science officer.
The Watchers suffered an
No. The science. It burns.
I'm Dr. Beverly Crusher of the Starship Enterprise. I'm investigating Dr. Hunforsh's disappearance.
I'm responsible for preserve animals, not Federation scientists.
I understand the doctor spoke to you about some possible incidents of smuggling in the preserve.
Yes, she came here soon after the outages, ranting away. Imagine, accusing me, when I'm the one who told her about that boar mistagging.
I'm getting some strange readings from this area. What sort of creature did you house here?
A 2-meter-long, 180-kilogram Sultus reptile which came in on the last shipment. I found the Watchers next to its cage the night of the outages. It's still missing.
I'm picking up traces of a neurotranquilizer.
Aramet always doses his animals with neurotranquilizers, just like Idia. We had to feed the reptile intravenously for days. It finally woke up right before the accident, just in time to escape.
Or it woke up and caused the accident. Ah.
These samples have the same ionic residue as ones we found near other animals drained of electrical energy. Maybe the Sultus reptile is responsible for their deaths as well as the power outages.
See, Beverly knows, except now it's going to be like, oh, Sultus reptiles can't do that. Perhaps it wasn't a Sultus reptile.
But there were no reports of it being seen near any of the power outages, and that reptile isn't easy to miss. Unless it's found a way to turn itself invisible, you're going to need another theory.
I examined the neuroscans of your colleagues. They've suffered severe neural damage, almost as if they were drained of electrical energy. What exactly happened to them?
I don't know. During my evening rounds, I found them unconscious next to the Saltus reptile cage. I carried them outside the shelter and was going for help when the generators exploded.
You were the one who found the boar carcass?
Yes. It died just before the outages, and I wanted her to test it.
Why didn't you go to Consultant Idia instead? That's his job, isn't it?
I don't trust him. Always drugging and borrowing animals for his experiments. In the interests of science, he says. I don't know how he could have approved that mistagging in the first place.
Constable Lixie said the doctor hasn't triggered your surveillance system, so she's not in any danger. Do the Watcher's stunners trigger the surveillance system?
The system only detects signs of distress. Normal sleep does not raise an alarm. Likewise, stunners and neurotranquilizers also don't alert the system. Unlike Idia and Aramet, we prefer stunners. Chemical sedation can be harmful.
Prefer to zap their brains with electricity.
It seems the doctor's accusations were based on the fact that only the Watchers can change ID tags.
That's true, but the suppliers tag the animals first. We just match them up with the constable's shipping orders. Idia is responsible for verifying them.
Is it true that the Watcher's requests for restricted species were rejected on several occasions?
Only 4 species out of 112. Of course, we were upset at first, but once the preserve is completed, we can always try again.
When did you last see Dr. Hunforsh?
I haven't seen her for some time. I've been busy recovering animals which escaped during the power outages. It's not easy work. The last time I saw her, I sent her to talk to Aramet.
You've been very helpful. Thank you for your time.
What's your step now?
Idia persuaded the constable to use Aramet, and Idia is also capable of verifying mistagged species. And he had the neurotranquilizers to knock out Dr. Hunforsh if she posed a threat to him.
Only stunners or drugs could disable someone without setting off the surveillance systems. Idia has a supply of neurotranquilizers.
Yes, that's what Troy just said. Very suspect. So we need to call the Ferengi, but I should probably go talk to the constable once more and ask her why she didn't tell us why all the Watchers actually got knocked out and are in comas. Also a pertinent bit of information that she just left out.
I'd like to see how Constable Lixie reacts to what we've discovered.
That's where we're going! But the pretty animation, those 6 pixels moving back and forth.
I believe Consultant Idia is involved with smuggling rare species into the preserve.
Are you trying to pick up where Dr. Hunforsh left off? She accused nearly everyone else of the same thing.
Well, the species are here, so what's your explanation?
Idia persuaded you to hire a trader with a questionable reputation and knowingly verified mistagged animals. Idia also uses neurotranquilizers, which he could have used to stun the doctor without triggering your surveillance systems.
Idia's been nothing but trouble since he got here. This time he's gone too far. I'll send for him so we can settle this once and for all.
She's gonna smack him in the face.
Please wait here until Constable Lixie returns.
Constable, we asked Consultant Idia to go to your office. He went to get some items, then suddenly beamed out. He seems to be gone.
He must have called Aramet for help. The Ferengi has a subspace transporter. See if you can find Dr. Hunforsh.
What do you think I'm doing? Who are you talking to, the Watcher? Or me?
There's a woman here asleep with a gag over her mouth. Maybe she knows.
Who is this guy? Maybe this unconscious lady knows something.
That's her, you idiot. Wake her and send her here. And have a look around Idia's office while you're there. He might have left some evidence.
Excellent. My mission is complete. All we had to do was ring this guy up and say, hey, go to Idia's office. Is he turning to mush? What is happening? This does not look good. Idiots. No, Idia. Looks like Lydia.
Have you captured Idia?
But it's an I. Dr. V!
Unfortunately, he escaped with Aramut. This Federation team was sent to find you. Perhaps they can help.
I'm Dr. Beverly Crusher of the Enterprise. Don't worry, we'll find Idia and Aramut.
Forget them. We have to recapture the Mistag Sultus. It's already killed dozens of animals and destroyed several containment field generators.
You have to capture this creature before it does any more damage. Have the quarantine shelter generators been repaired?
The shelter force field will not help us. The creature escaped once, and it will escape again.
Maybe you could rephase the force field somehow. That might be enough to stop the creature.
Reverse the polarity! Remodulate the shields!
That might work. But the only place we can rephase the force field power is at the main power grid.
I'll go rephase the force fields.
Good. The power grid is on the other side of the preserve. Take one of the shuttles.
Yes, it's shuttle time!
I hate to interrupt, but just how are we supposed to lure this creature back to the shelter?
If only you'd let us take our phasers.
The harmonic collector can emit high-energy EM fields. Let's use that as the bait.
Yes, that should do it. V, I'll send one of the Watchers with you to the shelter to help set it up. If we can get the field power rephased, we might get that thing under control. I'll stay and monitor the situation from here.
They are not the most helpful of no responses. Some adventure games are better at that than others. Hey, a puzzle! Science man, do it!
This is the Utilities Distribution Network. It controls the allocation of resources in the preserve, including electricity. The utility trunk controls the field energy distribution to the waveguide conduit networks.
This is the Utilities Distribution Network. We can control the electricity from here.
Hello?
The energy fields are responding. Frequency phasing complete.
Constable, has the harmonic collector been arranged?
Yes, but Dr. Hunforsh needs your help with the quarantine shelter. The only Watchers I could find are needed to oversee the other biotopes.
We will be there.
I thought there would be a puzzle, but there's not.
Just one more thing. Zudan tells me those generators won't hold up for long, and we can't afford to send much power to the shelter right now. Many biotopes are already on reserve power only.
We will review the situation at the shelter when we arrive. Where will you be?
I'll be controlling electrical systems from my office. Then I have to call an emergency meeting of the Marassian Constabulary to explain just what's going on.
How will we capture this creature?
His voice is so great.
It's all set up, but I need you to operate those consoles while I keep an eye on the creature from here.
Very well. What do you require?
The harmonic collector's hooked into console 2. Once activated, it'll emit high-energy pulses to lure the creature in.
Boop. Hey. Well, that's thrusty.
The harmonic collector absorbs sounds.
Was that the thing? Did it work?
Now what took you so long to find me?
I did it!
You were not exactly missed. Constable Lixie had dismissed your absence as a field expedition.
She was probably still upset that I accused her of smuggling. I suppose I should apologize to her, now that I know Idia was behind the whole thing.
You are fortunate Idia did not kill you when you confronted him.
I didn't confront him. I was just looking for information. But after I asked him about the Sultus, he must have panicked and decided to drug me. I should have suspected when he invited me to dinner. He hates to hear people talk while he eats.
They mentioned that before, but they didn't tell us anything about dinner, so it wasn't even a whodunit kind of clue. It's just a thing that happened.
So, only the Ferengi and Idia were working together. The Watchers were not involved.
They were the ones who brought the Mistag boar to my attention in the first place. They weren't smuggling anything.
Apparently, Idia underestimated this creature's appetite.
That egotist, thinking he could get away with it. Some of these animals are even from Romulan space. Did he think I wouldn't notice?
Are all of the smuggled creatures Romulan?
It would take more tests to be certain, but they definitely came from Romulan space. It's not surprising. Aramet does a lot of trading along the neutral zone.
Will the creature remain in the preserve?
I'm sure Constable Lixie will want to send it back, unless I can convince her to keep it here. A creature like that doesn't come by every day.
We will pursue this Ferengi, but at least now the preserve can be completed in safety.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to stay a bit longer? Klingons don't come by this part of the sector very often, and the Marassians are extremely interested in the species.
The Marassians, eh? Not her?
I regret that I cannot stay. We must apprehend Idia and Aramet. Good luck, Doctor. Beam us up.
Captain's log supplemental. Our successful attempt to locate Dr. Hunforsh has uncovered another mystery. Apparently, the creature responsible for the chaos on Marassia may have come from Romulan space. We are currently searching for the Ferengi trader Aramet. Despite somewhat questionable trading practices, he has never violated Federation law. Until now.